Now I feel like I'm far away from you, but I know I'm not. On the camera, it'll be fine.
Oh,
Missed you.
Making cut.
Ready?
Welcome to the Sydney Property Muppets podcast. My name is Kurt Lawther. I'm the real estate agent, and with me forever is
Chris Clark, the buyer's agent.
welcome, Chris. Brand new year, 2025. New year.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I guess for our viewers, this is episode 3 for the year,
Yep.
but they were recorded last year, so this is the first time you and I have seen each other for about a month.
Yeah. I walked in
But you
exactly what I'm wearing, and Chris was like, Jesus, and I said, and you just reminded yourself why you haven't seen me for a month.
Yeah, no, it's been a good month apart.
Look, it would probably been a good month for you not having the social media side of things, being able to drop it a little bit.
Yeah, no, it was good. Nice break.
Unfortunately, we're not. We're all human, actually, and can't power on. But, Chris, market update. You're a buyer's agent. You see a lot of houses, a lot of units, a lot of people. What's your take on the market at the moment?
Yeah, so I think as we sort of discussed, we're going to do every month, once a month, we're going to do like a market update and what's happening on the ground floor. So for me in particular, there's a few things that I'm seeing. One, I'm speaking to a lot of agents, and what agents are telling me is they're starting to get the trickle through of people coming through, or there's increases week on week as we get into the year. But the biggest thing they've noticed is this year compared to last year, it seemed like last year there were some buyers who held over from November, December and were really strong to go in January. They said they feel like now they're meeting a whole bunch of new buyers who are going to buy, but are more looking at February and March. They're more just exploring, but they know they need to get the ducks in a row, get the finance and so forth. So they're seeing the numbers come through, but not people hot and sweaty to buy right now. On the other side, what I'm seeing a lot of property come up proactively, both on your typical REA, your realestate.com and Domain, but seeing a lot of agents really reach out with opportunities of off-market, pre-market, and a little bit of stuff where another agent had a property or had that property.
Expired listing.
Yeah, and then another agent. So I saw one today that I've actually saw 4 or 5 months ago for a different client than what I have now, and it's been painted. The floorboards have been polished. They've listened to the second agent, which I'm sure you can concur with. Sometimes they don't listen to the first agent because they're hoping it all just works without having to do the work, and the second agent says the same thing, and they go, oh, yeah, we should do all that.
I was going to say, I had a colleague one time who sells units, and he was like, he was the unfortunate agent where
on the other side,
you give the advice and they don't take it,
yep.
And then the second agent comes in and they listen, and it's like, you can't be playing for that second agent. You need to get in there to sell it, and it just sometimes falls the other way. The way it is.
The way it does.
I was going to say,
from my standpoint, that's short wrap up, but I think that's really close to the money from what I'm seeing. But tell me from your side, what are you seeing in the market?
I'm just seeing a whole lot more energy. I think the last 3 months, in particular the unit market, the lower North Shore, like the top 5 to 10% of properties, selling no issues, unit houses. Yep. But the typical maybe C grade, C plus, B minus grade property, buyers were taking their time, they weren't committing. Even speaking to some North Shore beaches, people on the beaches, I had an agent come down and was trying to sell something in that sort of Cremorne area, and we're just like, Kurt, what is up with these buyers here? I was like, just taking their time. But on the weekend, the first Saturday really, big notice, I had a 2-bedroom unit in Chatswood. 5 minutes before the start of the open, I went to take the signboard down. I opened the front door.
Take it down to
down to the street. I'm on level 6.
I'm like, take it up.
Level 6, my signboard.
Sorry.
Going to take it down. I open the door, and there's already a lineup of people in the building. Yeah. And there's 2 to 3 people per group. I get them all through. And then I go to get my signboard. This took about 10 minutes. And then the next wave of people already come at the lift. So I didn't end up getting the signboard down to 20 minutes past the open home.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Just because people are keen, they're ready to go. So I'm feeling a lot more energy. I probably agree. Probably agree with that sentiment that there's only probably going to be still a handful of people that are ready to pounce now. I think some people are still waiting on the pre-approval.
So if you cast your mind back to 12 months ago, every year we talk about start of the market, there's new buyers come out and so forth. Does that in itself, what you just said there, like opening up, getting the board down and having a listing, if you cast 12 months ago to January, was that an occurrence then? Or it's the difference this year?
Probably the state of the way the unit worked out was just full on. I think probably a little bit the same. I think this year it's probably there's not as many units on the there's not as many properties on the market. I don't think.
Yep.
As what we would expect.
Okay. Yep.
I was probably expecting a bit more, but the buyers are still there. I just think also the interest rates were a lot lower. I think a lot more activity in the market.
Yeah, I think that's what
I just think the sustained interest rates, and I think we've got energy, but it will be interesting to see where February goes. I think February is probably going to dip down a bit in energy and buyers and even sellers.
Yep.
If interest rates remain where they are, which they will.
Yeah.
I don't see them changing.
Well, I was going to flip it over a bit and say, okay, let's you and I now just have a. We shouldn't joke about it, I guess, in terms of making a laugh. But when do you think? Can you just? We'll have it video. We'll have it recorded. What month and year do you think the rate will decrease? Because it will occur. Because there will be a rate decrease at some point. Highly unlikely to be a rate increase.
I'm hoping to say a month that the RBA actually meet. I reckon June.
June, okay. I'm the same. I don't know when they meet. I'm saying May. So both of us aren't saying that far away. But I think if you look at the media is really beating up. It's going to happen in Feb. It's going to happen in Feb. All the signs. Westpac dropped their long term, short term. I'm like, it's never. The banks aren't, as much as we love them, they're not always on the money. They are trying to entice buyers in. So they will decrease their offering in long term fixed rates to go, come sign up now.
I think there's going to be a lot of chances for people to be changing banks they're going to do a lot of cashback offers.
I reckon those will come back because at the moment I think only ANZ's the only one that's doing
I think this is just a hunch to balance the books as you get closer to the end of the financial year. They want to have more people on their books and the numbers, and so the way they'll do that, they'll offer incentives.
Okay, interesting.
Although I heard an interesing story.
Go on. No time for one story, as long as you know.
Yeah, it will be short.
Good luck.
I was speaking to a mortgage broker. Someone had actually already sold their property, but they did a cashback offer and went through a mortgage broker. And then obviously the mortgage broker got commission, but then because the property had already been sold, they had to give the commission back. So the person literally did it just to get like the 4,000 or whatever the cashback was.
Right, okay.
And then I questioned, I was like, but wouldn't the bank, and they're like, the amount of transactions that are going on. And
no, they wouldn't see it. They wouldn't know it.
Unless it was a freak thing where they just And I was like,
well, years ago.
I'm not condoning anyone doing it.
No, short story. Years ago when I got a mortgage, and it was actually from CBA, on the day of settlement, I looked in the account, there was $2,000 in the account. And I called the broker and said, where's this money come from? He's like, I don't know. And then he contacted the bank and came back and go, since you've purchased the property in your day of settlement, they've introduced a cashback $2,000. And so you qualify for that. So they literally gave you $2,000 that you didn't know. No one knew. All right, let's pick it on. So that's really short. This is what the episode's going to be this year, a bit shorter and sharper.
Yep.
Just for us to go a bit more specific.
Yep.
And also just for you listeners and watchers, a bit easier to digest. I've got one quick question though. Right, one game. This is the Google game.
The Google game.
Right.
I
so
remember.
you got. I'm going to give you the starting of a sentence.
Yep.
You type into Google.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you've got to. I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to give you 3 multiple choices.
Okay.
And you've got to pick which order they go in.
Okay.
Number 1, number 2, number 3.
Popularity of.
Yeah, popular. What are the most people putting in? So, why are real estate agents needed? Why are real estate agents so rich? Why are real estate agents hated? What's number 1, number 2?
So
number 3?
it was needed.
Needed, so rich, hated.
I reckon rich, needed, hated.
Okay, you have 1 correct.
Oh, I can do a change?
Nah, I don't think we have time for that. You had needed. Needed was right, so number 2. But actually number 1 was hated.
Yeah, fair enough.
And number 3 was so rich. The number 4 and number 5, just for those playing at home. Why are real estate agents calling me? And why are real estate agents paid so much? Look at the digs he's in, guys.
Oh, look at that. Actually, I reckon most of those you could find in our previous catalogue.
Yeah, in previous back catalogue.
Our back catalogue.
Sydney Property Muppets.
So, Chris, welcome. Fantastic episode.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for dropping by. And what's the last bit of homework for viewers and listeners?
Oh, I reckon this. Just get a subscribe in there. I reckon.
Subscribe.
Get a subscribe. Don't know if that's English.
No.
That is.
We're going to go with it.
Get a subscribe.
Thank you again for dropping by.